Hello, everyone. Welcome at New Year's Eve concert. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nora, and with my students, we prepared for you an amazing musical event. And it's not just a simple concert. We are not just sharing our music and go home. We will talk about super interesting topics. While preparing for this concert, I was thinking, okay, but what can be the main theme of this concert? Since it's January, we are surrounded by what's your New Year's Eve resolution? What is your goal for 2024? So I just couldn't escape. Okay, let's go with this. What is my musical goal for 2024? And then I thought this could be a fantastic theme to talk about. What is your musical goal for 2024? So I know I should be the last one, but I will start with my musical goal. You will understand why. So my musical goal is to find the trigger with each of my students that puts you in the zone. What do I mean by being in the zone? When you play the piano and you feel safe, you feel confident, you are free, you just enjoy your music and you just go with it. And it doesn't matter who listens to you. It doesn't matter if you are playing at home alone or you are playing for friends or you are playing at a train station and you are surrounded by strangers. You just enjoy your music and you feel like you are surrounded by a force field. So the best moment to start discovering how can I reach this goal is now. This will be the topic for today. How do you feel when you play in the zone, when you really enjoy your music, when you really feel free? About the program. So I was preparing the program. Who is the first, the second, the third one, and so on. And I realized that the music follows a chronological order. So we will start at 2019, and then we will finish in 1735. So this will be a little time travel for all of us. I hope you will enjoy it. So we will start with an arrangement. We will hear a Chinese traditional song arranged by Peter Schindler. And the performer is Renata. So I just share my screen. And I hope you will. Everyone is muted, right? Yeah. Oh my God. Bravo. That was super, super good. Thank you, Renata.
Thank you.
I just opened the chat. Yes.
Thank you for helping me to learn it.
Oh, it was a pleasure. I just put you on the stage.
Yeah.
Oh. And here we are. So, how did you find this piece? Tell us the story.
So we went to hear Lang Lang play at the Barbican in 2000 and I don't know 21 maybe, and he was playing Bach's Goldberg variations. And at the end of that, after the whole 80 minutes or so, for his encore, he played this song. So Japanese Jasmine Flower. So it was the first time I heard it, and then I just fell in love with it. I just love the tremolos, and when well done, and when he does it, it sounds just like those. It sounds like kind of like the Chinese wind chimey type thing. So I just love what you're able to do with the piano. And since then, I've been wanting to play it for a couple of years. And I had a few etudes I had to go through before I was allowed to start it, but some painful etudes. But yeah.
Yes,
And
so it was on your secret list for a while.
it was on my secret list. And yeah, and I remember always doing a little bit, even though I was supposed to be playing Beethoven, and I always had it on the side and doing it. And when I was probably about, what was it, October, when we were further along with the piece, we went to see him again in Manchester to see Bach's Goldberg variations again, and he played it for the encore, but this time we were in the third row, so I could see all his tremolo techniques. I can see everything that he was doing. So that was great. Yeah.
And what did you observe about the tremolos?
They're hard. And the speed at which he goes, it's almost like you don't really see his arm moving. It's just his kind of like the wrists, and his hands quite flat. He also does it with 1 and 4 instead of 1 and 5. But it looks almost effortless when he does it, to be honest. But the speed at which he's able to move is quite, it's amazing, the technique that's there. So I've done my imitation of it. Hopefully it gets better in years to come.
Oh, it's already very good. It's really very good. And I heard this Chinese instrument when you played your tremolos. So it was like, oh yeah, it's getting better and better. So talking about secret list, what's your goal? What's your musical goal for 2024?
Musical goal. I guess continue to improve in technique. Try to branch out a little bit more. So I've been doing my Moody, Beethoven, and Chopin. So I mean, there's still a Beethoven piece to come, but want to introduce a bit of Debussy, because we've been doing our best in lessons. So I think Kathy and I have both fallen in love with it. So it's definitely going to be on the list. And then we should do something by Mozart. So I'm trying to do something, just be a bit broader, and not always go for the most technically challenging piece. So maybe it's a mix of both, because some of the pieces I've done are quite challenging. And in the Jasmine Flower, there are parts that are quite simple, but you can do such beautiful things with it if and have with the embellishments and whatnot. So that's my plan, have a mix. And just continue to progress, and try to keep most of my secret list on the known list. so I don't distract myself and don't want to be doing too many things at one time. So just focusing on the pieces we're doing.
Okay. So I hope you know we are recording the concert. So we have a proof for the summer concert. And what can we achieve in, I don't know, 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Debussy and Mozart. I like this.
I have one more. Let me put it in while we're being recorded, because now that we've done the tremolos, first movement of the Pathetic Sonata would be nice.
All right.
Challenging one, and then the others will be the less challenging one.
Keep the balance in the moody and the major things. And you mentioned that, yes, I played my moody Beethoven sonatas. Once we were talking about it, that for you, piano playing, sometimes it's very much like acting,
Mm.
because some pieces are closer to you, some pieces are further. Can you tell about it more? Like, what do you mean by acting?
Um, yeah, I guess for me, naturally playing something like Chopin or Beethoven, when it's like flowing in sweet melodies or moody melodies, I find it easier to get the emotion that comes with it. So like the pathetic, you can just kind of go in and out of that, and raindrops has just got a whole kind of, it's just got a phrasing of its own. So I find those easier to connect to. And then you can do your flowy bits, and I suppose also when you get, it's technical in a different way. It's more about the emotion. The challenge is about the emotion and how you can bring it through and do the waves. But then when you get into faster pieces and you get into the really dynamic ones, you don't really have anywhere to hide. So I mean, you can hide in chords. If you make a mistake in chords, you can kind of hide a bit of that. But when you get into like I don't know, like Turkish March, for example, when you have to play that and you have to bring this huge energy and a bit of, your kind of artistic flair to when you're playing it. And same thing with the end of Jasmine Flower. That for me, that's quite out of my comfort zone. I'm not somebody, I don't like to bring attention to myself. So it's like something that's completely opposite to my natural person. But it's fun because it forces you to do that. And it forces you to, what was it I was saying? It's like you almost need to get yourself the mindset where you're, for me, it's about I'm in command of the piece. And if I can get myself into the mindset that I can do this, I'm controlling the piece isn't controlling me, then I can I can kind of open up more, if you will. And I can do my little, what did you call it? My lang moments at the end of the at the end of pieces.
Lang moments. And I really liked it was at another lesson. You told me that, Nora, sometimes I feel like I'm playing the piano and I am in a force field. What
Yeah.
do you mean by force field?
Yeah, so I'm working on the force field thing. So I guess it's that thing about you're talking about earlier about unlocking it. So I started thinking about how can you play and not and just almost block yourself away from whoever's around you and whatever's happening, divorce yourself from the outcome. Because quite often it's like, when you play your best when you're by yourself, at least for me, I do. And then as soon as people get around you, it's like you forget chords that you knew. So it's like almost just taking the self-consciousness away from it. So my visual thing, my mental thing is I try to picture this kind of this thing. There's just a barrier between me and whoever's around me. That's why I go to piano shop every now and then, because then if I play there, there's like people all over, but they're not right there. And it forces me to kind of desensitize a little bit and try and just actually focus with weird noises in the background and somebody else trying to play something. So, but yeah, working on the force field thing.
Yes. And is it colorful, your force field?
It's kind of a goldish kind of thing. It's kind of a
Ooh, I like
gold opaque, kind of like champagne colored, not surprisingly, champagne colored.
that. Okay. So, yeah, we will build this force field. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Renata. Thank you for your performance. It was
Thank you.
wonderful. And
Thank you.
thank you for your thoughts. Always eye-opening what you're saying. Like
One more
so
thing,
interesting.
one other thing I wanted to thank you because you you did the variations for me on this piece. So what we played isn't what I played wasn't the original one. I know it took her own personal time to do the variation. So thank you very much for that.
Oh,
And
you
all
are
the
so welcome. Oh, it was so good. So now we are going to continue with Shostakovich with the prelude from 1988. And I just need to find my video. Ah, yes. And Kurt will play it for us. Hmm. Yes, bravo, bravo, bravo. Wow, what a piece. So please welcome on stage, Kurt. Hey.
Hello.
Hi. So, Shostakovich,
Yes.
how did you find this piece? Because it wasn't me who suggested
No,
to
it
you.
wasn't you. That's true. It wasn't you this time. I actually don't know. I think it must have been almost a year ago that you asked me like look for some pieces, and I just started to find some pieces. And I remember I was talking to someone, and I told him I liked Chopin quite a lot, and he told me really should check Shostakovich as well. So I started to check on Shostakovich, and yeah, I found a performance of this piece by I don't know her name anymore, and I thought it was really powerful. So I just thought like that's really cool. I mean, it's a really cool piece. This is only the first part. They're still working on the second part, the fugue, but yeah, that will take some time as well. So yeah,
Yes.
so by coincidence, and yeah, I just love it for some reason.
Yes, for some reason. That's so interesting. And you jumped a few levels with this inner motivation that you just found in this piece. Like, I want to play it. And you learned it. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And what's next? What's your goal, musical goal for 2024?
Yeah, that's a really hard one because this is, as you say, it's like this force field or the zone or however you call it. So or your safe space, I don't know. So a real goal is hard to tell. If there is one, it's like getting more time on the piano and this. Well, let's call it force field. I really like that word. So let's have more time in the force field on the piano. That would mean my. I think that's the best goal I have in that department. Let's say, yeah.
All right. Okay. We will get there. We will find your trigger. What triggers you in the zone, in this force field.
Yeah.
And now I will ask everyone to choose a color for the force field. Okay. Another idea popped up at a lesson. So we were talking about music, and music is connected to everything, and the universe is resonance, and so on. And Kurt told me, Nora, actually, I play chess. I was like, wow, this is amazing, fantastic. And then it turned out that converted the steps in chess into music. So please explain this to us. How did you do that?
Yeah, I remember we were talking because when we have a class with Nora, you start to talk about all kind of random things for some reason. And we were talking about well, the kind of like how music is a kind of a language that some people get and they just get into it. And like a week before that, I had a talk with someone at the chess tournament, and he was saying exactly the same thing about music. Like it's a language, and some people just get it. And then I found a video of an 8-year-old girl that really gets the chess part, and she beats like everyone, also grandmasters. It's a crazy thing. So she kind of understands the language, and I was thinking about it. And when you have chess and a game of chess, it's transcribed into a notation that, for example, says you have to move your knight to c4, or you have to move your bishop to b5. And these are actual notes. I mean, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and yet there's an H as well in chess, so that's an annoying one. So if you have these notations and you have all these steps, and you have also the timings when people play things, yeah, you can kind of transcribe that into music. So I try to start and have each piece should be one instrument or kind of instrument, and then you have the black and white ones with different parts. So I was talking with Nora, and she said, "Oh, you can take wind blowers for one, and strings for the other, or string instruments for the other one. So I started to transcribe, like, I don't know, chess pieces into music. I mean, I don't know if it's music. I mean, it's instruments playing things at the rhythm of chess. Let's call it like that. I have no clue. So I started to do that. I don't know. It sounds weird, but whatever. It's just fun to try to do that. That's it.
Oh, it doesn't sound weird. And how does it sound? Do you like the sound of a chess game?
Well, when you start, it's kind of okay, but it will start to get pretty messy after a while, because you have all the notes, and they can go together in any way, and you have very chaotic things, and it goes from very high to very low. Because if you have, for example, A1 and A8, because you can have eight flutes as well, you go from a very high to a very low octave, I mean notes, and in one go. So it jumps from anywhere to anywhere. So it's an interesting exercise to do. I mean, just for myself. And the real fun part is, because I only started like 2 weeks ago, I think. That must have been the time. And in the last 2 weeks, my chess rating went up like 10%.
Really?
Yes, really. I'm not kidding. So that's really cool. So it's just an exercise, and maybe it's because I'm thinking about the movement or something that the pieces are making. I have no clue. It's just fun. I mean, it's really funny to see things happen.
Yeah, you think there is a direct relation between your increased chess rate and music?
I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's because I'm more busy with, but it's only one game I'm doing now. So I'm really busy with this one game and getting everything right. Or I don't know if it's a direct relation between music and the chess game. What has changed slightly, or seems to have changed, is when you play chess, you want to move forward when you start, while that's not the goal of the game at all. You have to capture the other piece, and in music it doesn't matter where you go. So I started to move way more back again with the pieces.
Okay.
For some reason.
Wow, that's a very interesting observation. Oh my God. Okay. And now something completely different.
Yes.
Because you will play another piece for us. The composer is Philip Glass, and the title is Metamorphosis. So why is it Metamorphosis, and from where comes the inspiration?
Okay, so well, the inspiration of Philip Glass, definitely, not mine. It comes from a book from Franz Kafka, so it's a bit absurd, and it's a book he has written, and it's called Metamorphosis. And as I said, it's always absurd, and it's basically what happens in the book. This is the first chapter. There are 5 chapters in the book. There are 5 pieces of Metamorphosis as well, of Philip Glass, so they are each one chapter, and it's about just an ordinary salesperson, so an ordinary person that goes to work every day, and he worries about normal life all the time. And one day he wakes up as a bug, as a big bug, like human-sized bug. And this is the first chapter. And yeah, he's late for work, but he can't get up because he's lying on his back in his bed, and it's very hard to get up. And everybody is shouting at the door of his room that he has to start to go to his work. So his mother is there, his father, his sister, then the co-worker is there, and they're talking on the phone, and I don't know. So this first chapter is like him waking up as a bug, having difficulties to actually open the door, and starting to cope with the fact that his body has changed. And that's what this first chapter is mainly about. So he has to just, I don't know, get to the point where he accepts his new body somehow. later in the book, there's a lot of psychology mindset as well. So he changes his mindset from worrying about daily life to I like to walk on the ceilings thing. Like this is the path he's going through, and while he's like deteriorating back to this mindset of a bug, his family grows. So everybody in the family grows. His father, who was kind of a loser, starts to work again. His sister keeps feeding him, and suddenly she also gets more like life and everything. So that's basically what the book is about. And this first chapter is I'm trying to get out of his bed and open the door and get along. I mean, yeah, allow him to be in this new body somehow. So yeah, that's the piece.
Yes, thank you. So now just can't wait to hear the music. What can it be? Thank you very much, Kurt, for your thoughts and for your music. It's always a pleasure to work and to talk with you. And enjoy the concert.
And thank you for your random thoughts about everything.
You can count on them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Antoine, could you please mute everyone? So just to make sure that we enjoy the music without any distraction. Thank you. Me too. Wow. I heard the guy trying to open the door and not succeeding. It was so good. Thank you, Kurt, and bravo, bravo, bravo. So, whew, after this absurd and a little bit depressive piece, let's take our time machine and go back to 1867. At this year, a very famous piano piece has been published by Beethoven. And this will be the famous Für Elise, a beautiful love letter to a beautiful girl. And our performer will be Kathy. There we go.
I will be playing Furlies by Beethoven. Here we go.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. And thank you. Oh, Kathy. It was really beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. This is not the first time that you play this piece, right?
No, it's not. I was fortunate enough to play it about 10 years ago before I had played before. And so it was so lovely to play it again.
And what changed between these two times, when you played it the first time and you played it now?
The first time it was torture. It was torture. It was, I couldn't move forward until every little thing was taken, but I learned a lot. It was, and now because I've learned more about why I do things and the sound and the musicality of things, that it was so much easier to play again because those um, learning the keys and the keys that you play is hard, and adding the technique to it. My teacher was a perfectionist, and I had to do it exactly how she did it. But it did come back, some of those perfection pieces. It was like, that came back. So it was really nice. I never want to lose it again because I want my grandchildren to hear me playing it in the background. I want them to just hear the gentleness of the beautiful song. It's a beautiful, and then I'll be freer, not preparing it or not, and I'll be able to just let them, all of a sudden you'll hear them perk up their ear, and and then they'll go back to playing. But that's what I want for them, to perk up their ear and hear.
Wonderful. Yes. When you said, I was tortured, I hear you. Sometimes torture pays off in the long run, but I don't know.
I don't know. It is paying off, Nora, because some of the things we talk about, just the other day, something came back and I was like, wow, it just came back. An exercise that I had to do, and my fingers were right there. So my torture, she said, you'll never lose that. And it did come back. So that, there is something to
Yes.
be said about torture.
Yeah. She's absolutely right. Yeah. Oh, nice. So, what's your goal? What's next in 2024?
My goal is to practice with my piano head up, with that up. And my goal is to, when I practice, is just to listen to the sound and watch my fingers, and not really try to go fast with the arpeggios or the movement, but to really just see where it's pressing and where it's going. And then to really work on the sound, the musicality of whatever I'm playing, whether or not it's an exercise or um, just something I'm playing, just to stop and listen to the sounds. So it's my goal.
All right. Yes. When you said you want to open your piano, just open up the lid. Why?
Because I want to hear the sound. Why should I hide it? I've been playing with it closed. Why should I hide it? Just lift it up and hear the sound more clearly. So that's, been afraid, oh, will I wake up the neighbors? Oh, will my neighbor hear me?
Yes,
So
this fear of judgment is super strong.
it is strong, isn't it? It is very strong. Yeah.
Mm.
And I want to feel the piano so much more, just to really, because I want to, because that's what I like. I like touching pianos. I like hearing other pianos. And now I have this beautiful instrument that has unbelievable sound. I can create different sound out of it. So that's what I want to do, is to create different sounds on that piano, because it has the capability. I have to let it do its job,
Yes,
you know?
yes, yeah. And maybe your force field will be even bigger when you open your piano, and it will be louder and more colorful. Thank you, Renata, for this force field. It's so good. Ever since we talked about it, I use it. So thank you. But you can take the credit.
Yeah, it's a perfect space.
Once you told me that, Nora, I was at home alone playing my piano, and it was so good because I just let it be. What do you mean by that?
Sometimes if when I just leave all the space away and just go and listen to the sound, it sounds unbelievable. Unbelievable. But that's a hard space. It's that same force field. It's that same force field as letting it be, because you don't let yourself just play it. You just want to create it.
Yeah, that's so interesting what you're saying. So it means that this space is already there. We just need to let us be in the space.
You have to get
Wow.
in. Your head has to be in the right space. You just can't be there. You'd like to practice or do something, but you can't be there unless your head is there and your whole self is there. It's not a good practice.
Yes. All right. So we have a beautiful plan for 2024. And how was the recording session? Tell us a little bit about your recording session. John, the video is just fantastic. When you went there, we saw the hands, and then you came back. It's just really, really good.
We kept doing it. It's like, John. It was challenging.
It was challenging, but I had a good director directing me. Talk about torture.
Sometimes you do it, you're like, come on, this is the last time. Let's do it. Yeah, he did good. He wants a tripod for his hand. I'm like, no, you could just sit there and hold it. So we're working on it. We have more to do. So it'll be good. He does good.
Yeah, seems like fun from outside. I know it's, it's a different story to live it through, but yeah.
So it's good.
Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you for your amazing thoughts and your amazing music. And thank you for being part of our community. It's so nice. You are like the shiny star, positive person.
Thank you so much for being my teacher. I just love you so much. And I love our classes. I know it's such a gift to be able to be your student. I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. All right. So we continue our concert with a piece also from 1867. But this time the composer is Massenet, Jules Massenet, who composed a piece And the title is Saltarello. And now, if you look at Gregory's video, he's like, oh, Saltarello, I played this. Yes. So now we will listen to Gregory. Ah, it was so good. So please welcome on stage, Gregory. Thank you very much. It was really, really good. I like how you play this piece. And I have to say that my favorite moment when you turned the page. It was like, wow. Like I was struggling with, okay, I need an iPad and then a page turner pedal. And then you were like, no, come on. And we continue.
Yeah,
Really
Tony,
good.
you were definitely the best so far.
So tell us about your musical goals in 2024.
My musical goals in 2024. Well, I mean, we talked about this, and I don't know about setting goals. Sounds like kind of a way to get frustrated, and so I think I'm just going to keep going along with Nora's good teaching, because I definitely have made a lot of progress since I've started taking lessons with Nora, and I just gonna, like the tortoise and the hare, I'm kind of the tortoise, just go at a slow pace, and eventually I will improve. That's kind of my goal, just slowly get better.
Yes, I really like that. And I remember this moment. I was so proud of myself. Like, yeah, I know the theme of the concert. And at the lesson, I asked Gregory, okay, so think about your goal in 2024. And he told me, I don't want to set up a goal. No. It was an eye opener for me. Like, yes, for what to take a weight on our shoulders when it's not necessary.
Right.
So, yes, I like your anti goal And it's really a good process because you just take the time. And you mentioned also that you practice something and it doesn't really move for a while. And
Mhm.
suddenly it's on another level.
Right. Plateau
So how is
learning.
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a big believer in plateau learning, that you kind of work on something. It could be music or learning a language, or Maki's also dancing, and you stay on the same level for a long time. And sometimes you feel frustrated because you're not advancing or improving. And then all of a sudden you notice, yeah, something's clicked and it's better. And you're on a new plateau. So yeah, that's kind of my philosophy.
And it works perfectly. Yeah. It's really
Mhm.
good. And since we are talking about the zone, the force field, the moment when you feel
This
safe.
is the catchphrase of the concert. I love this idea as well. This force field and the idea of that you play the best when you play alone just for yourself.
Hmm.
And when other people are there, this force field appears and keeps you from being your best version of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel when you play like this, protected?
It depends on who's listening, I guess. Some people I'm more comfortable playing in front of than others. And I suppose it also depends on the piece and how well I know it, and how much I like it. And,
Yes.
different factors like that.
Yes. I think
Yeah.
you said two very important elements. How well you know the piece and how much you like the piece.
Mhm.
These are super important to get in the mood to play it.
Right.
Yes. Wow. Super. Also with Gregory, we are talking about many things in the piano lesson. It's not just piano. And you told me that you went to Stockholm and you went to the opera and you
Right.
saw Mozart's Don Giovanni.
I did, yes.
Yes.
And I told Nora in advance that I was going to see Don Giovanni. And I don't know if the rest of you have this experience with Nora, but maybe it's the pieces that I choose. But Nora is a stickler for phrasing. And she's always, and she says, okay, I learned the piece to a certain point. She says, okay, now we have to concentrate on the phrasing. So it's phrasing. And so I told Nora I was going to see Don Giovanni, and she said, you have to listen to the phrasing, especially of the singers. And so I went with the intention of paying special attention to the phrasing. And I did with the singers. And I have to admit, I've already told Nora this, I have to admit that I didn't hear the phrasing. Sometimes I did hear it clearly, but in general, I'd say I didn't hear the phrasing of the singers as clearly as I heard the phrasing of the orchestra. And what I became very aware of listening to the orchestra was that the different sections have different phrasing. And it was quite interesting to listen to how all these different levels and cycles of phrasing were going on in the music. Yeah.
Yes. And what was the problem with the singers? Because the main idea is that they have to take a breath.
You have to take a breath, but most of the time it's not like they go like that and continue singing.
Yeah.
You just, they do it in a way that you don't really notice, and they just continue singing. Yeah.
Yes. They're stealing some air and then just continue their long phrases.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
that was
interesting. And
It was a new dimension for me. Yeah.
and also it changed the way you play your Mozart, because you're going to play Mozart Sonata second movement for us. And it was a real difference when I heard it before the Don Giovanni and after.
Okay.
Did you hear that? Did you feel that?
I was aware of a improvement, of a progression. I'm not sure that it really had to do with seeing Don Giovanni, but maybe it did.
Maybe it's just my,
Maybe,
my thing.
maybe it's a subconscious thing. That could well be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so good. Yeah. When you told me that I'm going to watch Don Giovanni,
Yeah.
and we were working on the Mozart Sonata. So it was obvious. You have to listen to the phrasing.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah.
You thought you can just enjoy an opera like for free.
Yeah, no, but that added to my enjoyment. So yeah, no, that was very good. And when I go to my friends who are here with me, we go to the opera together often. And next time we go, I will listen for the phrasing, whatever the opera is.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
that's good. I hope you explain them what is a phrasing and what does it mean.
yeah, I think
Listen to it together.
we will listen and compare together.
Amazing. Thank you, Gregory. Thank you for
Thank
your
you, Nicole.
thoughts. I always learn something from you, like fresh air in my mind. And thank you for a beautiful playing. Thank
Well,
you very much.
Thank you for beautiful teaching.
Bye welcome. So now let's enjoy together Mozart Sonata in F major, second movement. And now you know everything about phrasing. So I would like to ask you to listen to Gregory's phrasing. So nice. Your piano is singing. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Gregory. So, everyone played except me. So now it's my turn to play something for you. And since the last piece was by Mozart, I'm going to play something by Bach. This will be the Italian Concerto, first movement. And before I play the recording, I would like to say a big thank you for my students, because it's a real pleasure to teach you, and you are enthusiastic, you are diligent. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And I know that doing these recordings requires a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and all of you, you've made it, and wonderfully. So thank you again. And I would like to say thank you for the fantastic help of my dear Antoine. Thank you, Antoine, your support and all your positive energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now, please enjoy Bach, Italian Concerto, first movement. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh. Oh, thank you again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for playing. Thank you for sharing your wonderful thoughts. And I hope that you are empowered musically for 2024. So, Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nora.
Just
Thanks, Nora.
loved
That's
it.
beautiful.
Beautiful piece, Nora.
Very nice. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
Gregory, you've inspired me. I'm gonna pick up some.
help me. I don't know the game.